we are going to talk about back button focus and why it is a must-have if you're a camera enthusiast, a professional, or an amateur. This is Doug Gabbard, practicing photography. I've been taking photos since 1981, on digital since 2008, and really passionate in the last 7-8 years. Back button focus, it is incredible and you're going to love it. The reason you're going to like it is let's talk about if you don't have it turned on. You have to make a choice. Do I want one button focus or one shot, or do I want a continuous focusing? Well, to set that up, I have to open up the menus and change it from one to the other. So that takes time, and you need to know where that setting is. So you may not want to do that. So back button focus takes that function away from the front button, and it's all in the back. So I'm walking up towards a place I'm going to take a photo, and I'll just give you an example of where a continuous focus is necessary. This subject that I'm going to take a photo of, it's not moving a whole lot, but you'll see what I mean. But in the meantime, check out some of the gear I have. You can see on my back, I got a backpack. It is a Sprint backpack from Think Tank. There'll be a link down below. It's an affiliate link. If you need a backpack, it's great for short hikes like this. I've got a water bottle hanging off of it. I got a tiny tripod inside for my Osmo 3, but I didn't use it on this trip. I've got a wide angle lens inside there. I've got extra batteries. I've got quite a bit of stuff in there. So here I am, finally at this flower, and you notice they're moving quite a bit. And I've got a macro lens on it, and the focal distance, from the distance I need to be away, it's pretty sensitive. If the flower is moving an inch or two, it's going to lose focus. And here I've got my lens cap. I didn't put my lens hood on. My lens cap is off, so I'm going to put my lens hood on. Now I'm taking photos of it. Now if I did one shot, it would be very hard to capture this photo because you can see it is moving quite a bit. So I just held the back button focus so I can focus on this flower as it's moving back and forth. Check out this photo. So that turned out pretty awesome. That is a Blackberry blossom. I'm on my Hidden Valley Trail. So all right, I flipped ahead a little bit. I didn't want to bore you with too long of a walk. And I'm going to be coming up to some more flowers here shortly. And here I am. Now I'm out of the wind and I only need a single shot focus now. So I press the button once. You can see my thumb is where the focus button is. But I am now adjusting some exposures and whatnot. But a single button push and I am in focus. Check out this photo. Again, it's still the Blackberry blossom, but I made it black and white. I thought it looked really cool black and white. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think, if you like the black and white. I have the DJI Neo tracking me. So I really like that backpack. You can see it on my back. It's got the water bottle. There's little loops there that you can hang cantilevers off of. I think that's what that little hook is called. But I do quite a bit of backpacking with this. It is very portable. I have several other backpacks from them. I got a larger one and I got a travel one. Let's stop and take another photo. All right, this photo is of a May wildflower, and it's got a bee on it, which was really cool. I'm not sure if it was a bee or a wasp or what it was, but check this out. Single button focus. So I think that was my favorite photo of the trip. So let me know which photo you like the best. I got one more to come to here shortly, and you'll see that. But back to some of the gear I have. You can't see it very well, but my left hand has a watch on, but my right hand, it's not a watch. It's actually a strap that holds onto my camera, and we'll talk about that after this photo. This photo is of a purple wild petunia, I think is what it is. I like this one too. So if you're liking this video, make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the like button. It helps me out. So what did you think of the wild petunia, the purple wild petunia? Let me know which one of the photos is your favorite. Well, I'm getting close to where I'm going to start showing you how to use your camera and set this up. But to finish my story about the strap on my right hand, it is made by Peak Design. I'll put a link down below. I don't have an affiliate for them, but you can probably find it on Amazon, where I do have an affiliate. Tell you what, I'll give you my Amazon affiliate link. But anyway, that Peak Design strap, they have quick disconnects. You can have a shoulder strap if you like. I'm not a big fan of shoulder straps. They're just extra gear in my way. So this strap is very sturdy. If I drop the camera, it's not going to go anywhere. It is maybe keeps it 2 or 3 inches away from my wrist if I let go of it. So it's very, very useful tool. Grab your camera. Let's look at this setting. It doesn't matter if you have a Canon XTI, a Canon R5 or R3. It doesn't matter what advanced camera you may or may not have. But let's grab your camera, your Sony, your Nikons, whatever you have. Grab that camera. You will have this option. It may look a little different. I'm going to show you the back of my Canon R6 camera. So look at the screen here. I am at my beginning menu on my camera, and I am going to move to my menu by going backwards. I'm going to scroll left, and that'll go to my first icon on the right to the left of the star, and you have number 5, clear functions. Number 4, you have some settings that we're not caring about, but the setting under menu 3 has customize buttons. This is where you want to go. Now, this looks complicated, but it really isn't. So you'll notice, and I'll circle it there, there's a picture of a camera and a picture of a video camera. So the left column are camera settings. The right column is for video. So right at the get-go, you can see that the camera icon that has a picture of all the buttons, it's on the left. You can see the button that's highlighted. That's what you're used to taking your pictures with. I've already set my camera up with back button focus. So right now the autofocus is not there. But if I go down to the back button, now notice how the lights change on the camera on the left. That is the button I'm going to program for autofocus. So you press the set on this, and you can choose what that button does. All right, you can choose from any settings. You can see there are quite a few, but we do not want to do that. All right, so let's come back here, and we'll leave it as autofocus AF, and click it for OK, and it's set. So I've got a bonus tip for you. Now this bonus tip, that you definitely need a higher end camera. The Canon R5, the Canon R3, and the Canon R6 have this. I don't know if the R7 and the R10 have it. Hopefully they do. But what we're going to look at, and you may have already noticed it, right below this button right here, right below the autofocus that we just set, has an asterisk button. And you can see it's right next to the autofocus. So if I go back up to my back button here, you got the button on the left that I use for back button focus. Then I program this button for eye focus. Eye focus is an advanced setting on the Canon R5, the Canon R3, the Canon R7, and like I said, I don't know about the R10, maybe the R7, I may have said that wrong. But that asterisk button is just to the right of the button we just programmed for back button focus. What's really cool about this is if I want to do eye focus, I don't have to worry about if I'm on eye focus or not. I just program this button to do eye focus, and you can see the icon that's highlighted. It has an eyeball and AF. So using the star button, I can now autofocus on the eye. As I said at the beginning of the video, the benefits of having these buttons set up is you do not have to go into the menu systems to set them up. Oh my goodness, that is a lifesaver, and it's intuitive. You don't have to think, where is it in the menu? You don't have to go find it. You don't have to set it. By that time, whatever you were taking a photo of is probably long gone. So set these buttons. Trust me. Try it for a little bit. I guarantee you, you probably won't go back. So to be honest with you, I have seen some photographers on YouTube, they're not a fan of it. But me, I love it, and I use it all the time. I have never gone back. So here's one catch. Let's say you want to give your camera to a friend to take a photo for you, all right? So you hand them your phone, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, they're not going to understand the autofocus. They're not going to understand the iPhone. Oh my goodness, it's not going to work. Just put it on automatic. The automatic overrides this, it goes back to what the normal camera setting would be, and it will use the shutter button for a half press, just like you're used to. You don't have to teach them about back button focus. Hand them your camera, and let them take the photo. It is awesome. All right, thanks for hanging with me. I'm walking in front of my Neo again still. I'm going to try to go between these flagpoles. It doesn't go too well, but the Neo actually stops recording when it runs into the pole. It very gently flew to the left and landed in the grass, and I picked it up. So as soon as I get past this pole and it runs into it right about here, that's when I go pick it up, and this is me. So do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already from previously. At the end of this video, I'll have my video on my backpack. It's Doug Gabbard practicing photography, getting better one photo at a time.